So I have a kind of a weird one today. Should I say weird? Maybe an atypical. This is an atypical turntable. It's an Aiwa direct drive. The model is AP 2200. And I can tell you right now that this is not the correct cover. Someone just slapped another, probably maybe from a Techniques, I don't know. They just kind of slapped some cover on here, it looks like, or something else. I don't imagine that they would have a flat dust cover for this. I'll have to confirm with photos, but Yamaha, they have a couple of turntables where you have to have a dust cover that's kind of shaped to fit the plinth. I don't know anything about this at all. Oh, it looks like that is the counterweight. This is all loose here. Hopefully there are bearings in there. Dirty, gross, no stylus on the cartridge, so it'll need a new cartridge. We have to order one if it's worth salvaging. This is really loose here, so I don't know what's going on with this. So there should be bearings in here, and that should not be that loose. I don't believe. I'll have to look. Have no idea what's going on with this. Some of these are actually a couple different turntables were delivered to one of the shops, and they're I don't know if they're like thrift store finds or garage sale finds or what. But I'm going to plug this in and see if it does anything. So it's set to 33, and it spins. It appears the strobe works. The speed is off. Could be a dirty pot for 45, and for 33 and for 45. It appears that the speed adjustment potentiometer isn't doing anything. Oh, I see. 45 has a different one. It's got 2 on here. Oh, so that one actually works. Huh. Interesting. It says auto return, so first I want to see if the viewing Tonearm elevator here works, but this head shell is... Man, that cartridge is really tall. So anyway, the elevator is working, but it looks like it needs to be adjusted. This might be too tall for that. So let's just see what happens if I go to the end of the record. Okay, picked it up. It didn't return it all the way though, but it did shut it off. So let's see if I hit start what happens. Oh, I guess the start button is... I don't know. There's a button on here that says start and reject. It says automatic return. I thought it just said automatic, so I think this is just to lower. Huh, interesting. All right, yeah, so this is a new one. I've never worked on one of these before. I think what I'm going to do, I think it's salvageable. I don't know about sound. I need to see if I have a cartridge that I can throw in here. I normally keep some cartridges in stock. And I think I've mentioned before I love the AT3600L cartridges, but I don't think I currently have any. I'm going to have to step away and see if I have some. What I'd really like to do is figure out the sound situation with this turntable. If you've been doing this for a while like I have, you end up with a plastic container of old cartridges that you've pulled off other turntables. Most of these don't have stylus on them. And if they do, the chances are the stylus is no good, or it's bent like that one. I don't have any new ones in stock, so I may have to order one if I can't find something serviceable in here to at least test this with. It's an old Empire. I'm sure it's not very interesting watching me go through all these. That doesn't have a tip on it. Hey, this is a high dollar one, but it's a moving coil, and I don't even know why I keep it. Can't do anything with that one. So I'm going to pick through these and see if I can find... Oh, there's one. I think that's a good one. Maybe. Anyway, I'm going to pick through these, see if I can find a cartridge that I can put on here to at least test it, see if we have sound. I think I found a cartridge that'll work. This had a P-mount cartridge on an adapter, which that made it super tall. I don't think that gained us much in terms of this Tonearm rest. So let me turn. So here's what's interesting about this, setting the tracking on this Tonearm. Okay, so I think, and there is a manual available for this, I just need to get in and look at it. But I think that's set to 0, and then this maybe is the tracking, but it doesn't seem to do anything. So I may have to look to see what's going on with that. Maybe a spring or something in there that's missing. And if there are bearings missing from this, this is really kind of going to be, it's going to be kind of a moot point, right? So it's actually not, it's almost sitting right on top of the record. I don't think it's hitting. Doesn't sound like it. I have this connected to my stereo. I don't have any hum. It's on 33. It's running too fast. Let's see if we get any sound. Oh yeah, we have sound. So that's cool. And then let me hit reject and see what happens. There it goes. Huh. And it shut off. So that's those are all promising signs. Now, without a cover for this, I don't. This may just turn into like a shop turntable, or maybe I'll keep this in my garage where it's just going to be used for testing things. But actually, before I get too far, let's look at what's going on with these, with this Tonearm and how loose that is. I can't tell. Yeah, I'm almost going to bet that there are the bearings are missing, and if that's the case, then this probably isn't going to be worth going too far into in terms of the repair. So here's the outer sleeve, the outer nut, and then you have an inner nut. So I'm gonna remove both of these. And if you're not familiar with the bearings on some of these Tonearms, and I'm pretty confident this is how this one is. Now that one looks to be loose. Yeah, I'm pulling the whole thing out over here, so I can show you what this looks like. So see how it has like a little pin? It has a little pinpoint that goes into a sleeve with bearings in it, and that will hold that Tonearm in position, and it just kind of glides on the bearings. You actually tighten these up independently of that outer sleeve. So this goes in, locks the bearings into position, then this prevents this little pin from moving. Let's see if I can show you what the bearings would look like without breaking something. Because while I have it out, if I have the bearings on both sides, I can actually lube this. So, alright, So if I turn this and I sit it upright, whoops, man, that would have been bad. You can see down, probably can't really see it, but inside this hole here on the Tonearm, you might be able to make out, I can't tell from where I'm standing and where I'm looking at my monitor screen, there are a bunch of ball bearings in there. So that side appears to be okay. And this side appears to be okay as well. So that is all good. That's very good news. So I'm going to reinstall the pins and see if I can get that to tighten up. So these pins will go in on their own. Oops. They'll go in on their own like so. I'll tighten these, see if I can get it to where the Tonearm is centered and supported in a center position, which I actually already did. Right, so now it's a little too tight, but once I get those tightened, right, it won't, see how now it's not really, it's just moving up and down. It's not moving side to side anymore like it was when it was loose. So I can tighten those up just a little tiny bit, then put the outer kind of nuts back in there like so. Now I'll probably go back in and lube that, but again, I don't know how far I want to take this because this tracking doesn't seem right. So I'm going to have to look at the manual, figure out what's going on with this. Oh, there's the tracking. Oh, okay, so there it is. That's interesting. So you zero it, and let me unplug this real quick. So I'm going to do just a quick balance here, but you turn this to move the weight in and out, right? So that's 0, and then you do like that, and this looks like an Audio-Technica. It looks like a 3600 or whatever the predecessor of the 3600 was, and you can run them pretty heavy. So I'll leave that right there for now. Set anti-skate for 1.5. Alright, so that's kind of cool. The feet are in really good shape. This is a very heavy turntable, surprisingly. I don't know what it weighs, but it feels pretty substantial. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like finding these oddities. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go through and kind of clean this up. I may lube these, see what I can do here, see what I can do here. Turn it over, clean these control pots. There are probably a second set of controls, like I've mentioned in other videos. I don't know if there are on this turntable. I need to get this platter off. It's stuck in position. The way I do that is you can use something, a soft mallet, the back end of a screwdriver. I totally stole that from the turntable guy. I like watching his videos, so you have to check out his channel too. We'll see about lubing that, but that's moving really freely, so I don't know that I mean, I probably should. And again, this turntable's not going anywhere unless we can find a lid for it, a dust cover for it. You know, unless we have a customer that's just looking for a turntable without a dust cover, which doesn't really happen. So anyway, what I'm going to do is speed through kind of my cleanup, flipping this over, getting in the inside, cleaning the pots here. If naturally, if there's something to discuss, I'll discuss it. If I see anything interesting in there, I'm going to see if I can. Oh, it looks like I can adjust the tone arm height with this screw here. This is how you can do it on Techniques. I'm just guessing if I turn this, and I'm not sure which way I need to turn it. Yeah, if I turn it to the left, if I loosen that nut, it raises it. So that's how you adjust that. All right, so let's get to work cleaning this up. Interesting feature to point out here. I was wondering what these little tabs were for. You can actually move the feet and change their position. At least on the front you can. Yeah, it looks like I should be able to slide these like I did these back and forth. These are either adjustable in a different way. Oh, that one goes. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you because I had to move those to remove those two screws right there to get that bottom cover off. Well, when I went to edit the video, I discovered that my microphone had become disconnected. So what I did is I walked through my decision not to apply grease to the bearings. The service manual did not indicate a need for any lubricant. So rather than put grease or oil in there, I went ahead and left them dry. I did reposition the tone arm so you have an equal gap between both sides, so it's free moving, floats up and down pretty easily. I've actually put a different cartridge on it because I'm going to use this in my office for a little bit. It's going to replace my Marantz 6300, which has some issues, and there will be a video at some point in time with me addressing those. So I've installed an Audio-Technica 95E cartridge on there, which I've had kind of stashed away for a turntable like this. I did clean the speed control pots, both these potentiometers and two variable resistors on the power supply board. So I kind of walked through doing that. I cleaned those variable resistors. I centered these, adjusted the variable resistors like I have in other videos of mine. So you might want to check out one of my other videos where I do that. And then I just kind of did a general cleanup. I kind of missed some crap underneath there, though, so I need to get that brushed out. But anyway, this turntable, not a lot of information is out there on it. I did find a service manual. It's probably going to be impossible to find a dust cover for this, so I'm just going to kind of run it in my office uncovered and see how it does. I will put a search on eBay out for a cover, and if I ever get one, with hinges, right, I can go ahead and install it on here, but yeah, this is it's a decent turntable. I mean, I did a little bit of research on kind of informal reviews on it on Audio Karma and Vinyl Engine, and good information on it. I guess this was a high-end turntable for Aiwa at the time. So anyway, unfortunately, I didn't capture kind of wrapping or performing all those maintenance tasks, but I did want to at least shoot some type of wrap up and close the video out. So cleaned up real nice. I'm excited to start using it. Probably pull the Marantz out here in the next couple of days and pop this in and test it out for a month, see how it does. If anything pops up, I need to do any additional repairs on it, I'll post another video. But until next time, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.